NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the football team and the Lions, and it's coming up next.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Washington football team. Season is hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. So now the Lions go on offense in a great starting spot. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's Mostert. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Williams. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That'll back him up 2. Yards and also bring up 4th. On now is Seibert for the Lion field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Seibert's kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Webster going to hold on to it, and it'll come out to the 25. This offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Trubisky. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing. And that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3. Just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch? And I think the ball's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Back to throw. Bolton. Allen's got it complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. It would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, Bolton. Dancing to his left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble, 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up 4th.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but, hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
Time for another look at this Lions offense. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Now, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
To throw on second down. Bolton. Open man is Kirk. Complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing on first down. Bolton. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, Bolton. And he fires one incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got Allen. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left. He tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Open man has got it. It's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On second down, Mostert. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Looking to throw on second down. Bolton, and he will find his man on the outside. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Bolton. And in for the Lions touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Webster going to hold on to it, and it'll come out to the 25. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now. All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Lions defense gearing up as they take the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team...
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Trubisky. And he it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack. So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Lions will take over. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Swift. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. To throw on 3rd down. Bolton caught by Allen. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Back to throw. Bolton. They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. 3 first half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
To throw on second down. Bolton over the middle. He finds Godwin, complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15.
And that's a... an acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Bolton. He finds his man, complete. That's Allen. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd down and 7. Looking to throw. Bolton. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw again. And he fires one, but incomplete. That close on 3rd down. I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here are the Lions to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Looking downfield for Godwin. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 42. A big play there. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect. Just lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. Mostert hit, and he drops the ball. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Well, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength is on display there. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a 3rd down. a play fake. Here's Trubisky. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington able to cut into that deficit. Zerline connects on the extra point. And this is back to an 8-point game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Bolton. Allen's got it over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the play.
Fights through and now a crease. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll run with Gibson. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. 2nd down and goal. Trubisky. This is caught. Touchdown. John Bates. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And Washington now within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Now Trubisky, they're going to throw for it. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
The Lions offense set to take over. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bolton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. That time to... Defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 77 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And Washington has taken the lead. Line now for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate. In front of them in plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Check. Lucky. Rush in.
On 2nd down, Swift. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run right side with Mostert. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. 68 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They hand it off to Mostert. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Webster going to hold on to it, and it'll come out to the 25. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Trubisky. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Trubisky's throw taken in by Samuel. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to... stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
He's brought down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be a no. To run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Gibson. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
On 2nd down now, it's Gibson, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.